Hello YouTube, welcome to a very excited PTG here. I am Lucky Sixes and this is Hyper G, this side.
Hyper G is here. I don't know what side. Are the all sides?
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's
all
everywhere.
around, which is a fitting statement for what we're about to talk about.
Nice segue. Yes, we are here to basically look at a very, very exciting time in 9th Age history. I think, and history it is. The 9th Age Compendium we are here to talk about, the background compendium. And this has been a long time coming. Lots of people asking for a one-stop shop place for all the fluff and stuff and where to get a good start. Obviously, we've and you've seen on this channel we've released some of the background
specific ones.
For Army specific, that's when they had their gold books out and things like that.
In most cases, yeah.
And yeah, here we are or the alpha, I should say, really, for that one.
Terminology, mate. We're never going to get the right terminology. Yeah. Let's not even start trying now. Come on.
But yeah, here we are for everyone. Everyone gets a slice of the pie, and look at this. Lovely background, isn't it great? A lovely little picture to show the whole entire world of 9th Age.
Yeah,
good start for the title, isn't it?
Totally, it's amazing. You personally, I know, have been desperate for something like this for so long.
Yeah, I have. I even to a point where I downloaded all the what do they call it? The Ninth Scrolls, and I was like, right, I'll just read through these and compile it myself. Then, if they're not going to do it, and I was like, that lasted about 10 minutes.
I was going to say.
And here we are now.
What mammoth task that was.
It was, and a huge task done by everyone. We should say as well, this is going to be part 1 of 2 the videos. Obviously, this one hyping it up on release day. But we will have a second one with an interview with Mr. Scottish Knight, the Scottish Knight Master, extraordinaire.
Head of background, more specifically, for this particular project.
Yes. So if you're going through this and you would like some questions or have any questions about it, pop it in the comments below. And we'll compile them, and as well as our questions, we'll shove yours right in his face.
Because this video that we're doing now, this is a hype video on release day. It's not about specifics. It's literally about things that we picked out and on glances of it. And what we won't want to do is guess what your questions are and guess the answers. We're just going to talk about this book, like the bits we've enjoyed and are hyped up about. And then when we follow it up with a more specific interview with the actual writer or the lead writer, head of background, then we can go at him with our questions and your questions, hopefully, which would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So put those in the comments and then we can send them over to Ed and get talking about this wonderful creation.
A background to the background, if you will. Interview styly. But anyway, here we are. Obviously, we've seen the title page and looking at what's in it. You may have already seen a bit of a sneak peek yesterday, I think it was. Here we are with the contents page. And what a contents page! 80 plus pages, man.
I know, it's good going, isn't it? I think it would have been very easy, I think, for them to do like a paragraph on each of the factions or each of the armies. But they haven't done that. As you can see from the contents page, they've got 2 pages per faction and extra breakdowns of human types.
So many.
Plus, the section that I'm sure you're just desperate to mention, which you're shoved in with giants, I'm afraid. But still.
But anyway. But yeah.
And I think it would have been very easy to summarize all those factions into like a paragraph each. They haven't done that. They've given them all their dues, which is amazing.
And speaking of which, in terms of that, in the actual book itself, we have a spread, a 2-page spread on each army. The Highborns here.
I knew you'd start with that.
Well,
I mean, why do I leave you in charge of these things, right?
yeah, oh dear. But obviously, and that's I think Makar. No, Sylvanel, sorry, next to them as well. But they have like a 2-page spread each of different, a little summing up of the army, and snippets also of fluff that's been written before and new bits as well.
Yeah, the way it's written is very familiar in terms of like first person perspective accounts. A lot of them, which we obviously come quite accustomed to with the other compendium books and everything like that, and background supplements, etc. The sticking with that style, that's clearly the style that they like in the Ninth Age, and that's all good. And I mean, reading through it, there's some interesting tales and snippets that go alongside it, which is
there is,
really
and
good
I'm
fun.
sure you've seen the Saurians.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
in there as well.
Yeah,
and
I mean, whether or not, I mean, obviously we've got a Saurian book imminently coming. There's some little teasers within this.
I know.
I really get the juices flowing. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, man. And as you can see on this page as well, you've got the Saurian thing, but you've also got you can already see the different styles of writing there. There's not just like diary entries, but there are like little poems and things like that as well. Songs, as you can see from this one, and snippets of things as well. So there are, and even some of the diary entry type things are different style of it. So it's like day 12 in the Big Brother house, and or just a more wordy written passage as well. So
it's surprising how many different formats a first person account can be in, actually. And I think credit to them for keeping it fresh and keeping it different. Yeah, within that same style.
Yeah, and as you're going through it, obviously we were only doing snippets here because we want you to go and have a look at it. But there are all those different things, and I think they've done well to accumulate that. Obviously, it's one of these sort of style things for each of the armies, and also dragons, baby.
You've done well to hold off this long. In this video, to be honest. I mean, I'm actually gonna flick to it so I can enjoy it.
So and as well as sort of like going into the dragons and giants and things, is here some nice art as well in the background. Very nice style and formatted. Really cool in that regards. But also, like as you mentioned, all the different human.
I was really intrigued by that. I mean. I was really intrigued. I mean, actually, there was one thing that I wanted to particularly point out. I'm on the wrong page. You're constantly going to see me flicking because there's so many pages and so many bits that are picked out, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. No, where is it? Come on, fill time. Lucky Six is fill time.
Yeah. So I mean, with this, you've got 2 pages for each, which does mean the majority of this book is going to be on each of the factions. Which is fantastic, which is what people want. Obviously, you're likely to, like I did, skip to your favourite armies or the armies that you play, see what they're about. Skip to dragons straight away, maybe. I don't know. That's up to you. Yeah. But they do have that for each one. So of the 80, there's maybe 40, 50 pages on the armies themselves, which is awesome. Which I think is really cool. And as you say, gives everyone their dues, especially all the people. And different areas that aren't just armies or just auxiliaries or in this case.
Well, that was the point I was going to make actually, because like there's teasers for further auxiliaries, I think, in here. Because one of the first human nations that's mentioned is the kingdom of I'll murder this kingdom of Vanhu or Vanru or Van. I don't know, but basically Aztecs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love Aztecs? I mean, or they look like jungle people, really, whatever you want to call them. But I mean, that's not been done in a supplement in an auxiliary book. Is that a teaser for the future? We just don't know.
Maybe.
But they're in this world of Ninth Age, and that's amazing. That's so exciting. So. And
I know that if any of you are watching this or have already seen the book and just wanted some sort of like a thing for it, if you're interested in any of those well, any of the armies really, but also some of the human armies, or say the dragons and giants, like we've got here, do get in contact with the Ninth Age. They're always looking for creative people to expand their fluff that they have already. So
yeah, I mean the list of credits and the writers, it's
loads.
quite extensive, isn't it? You know, so there's quite a lot of people got involved. So credits.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so the majority of this book is the armies and stuff. It does then go into the ages, which is pretty cool.
And that's something I was particularly looking forward to seeing actually.
So predominantly before this, the main thing about the ages you'll have seen is the poem. No, it's not a poem. It's like there's another word for it, but the poem. I'm going to stick with it. You know,
okay,
whatever.
Yeah. Stick to your guns. Yeah, absolutely.
About just the Ninth Ages and sort of giving a real brief interlude into them. This one goes into it a lot more detail, although it is from a perspective that I particularly like from Klepper. We will spoil that. We'll spoil that. But yeah. So I really like it's done from his perspective, but it is gone into a lot more detail on.
I like with the ages, and I know that you were probably going to mention this any minute anyway. It's quirky in that the Ninth Age is like the Seventh Age of Ruin, but then it's not listed as the Seventh Age of Ruin because the preceding 6 are the 6 Ages of Ruin, and then the first 2 are before the Age of Ruin begins. Like they've not just literally done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, that would be too simple. That would be too boring.
It would be.
They've got 1, 2, then the first Age of Ruin, all the way through to the 6th Age of Ruin.
I think it's like A, B, isn't it? To start off.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's just so quirky, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's cool. It's like that is genius. Just making it slightly more fun than just 9 ages. You know?
So
we are in the 9th.
So if everybody is looking at that content page going, they've missed number 7 and 8. Actually, they haven't, sir. You haven't read it properly. There are two.
It's your fault.
You. There's the 2 previous ages, the Dawn and the Golden, and then the 6 ages of Ruin, and 9th ages, maybe the 7th age of Ruin, maybe what. But as you said, they go into the 9th age as well, and talking about that and how it isn't been named yet. You know.
Yeah, what I like as well is that literally in that section they've got a paragraph for each faction.
Yes. Yeah.
Because obviously they've told you all about the factions in the previous content areas, but now it's got like a timestamp of each of the factions, so you know what's going on with your faction. It's not massive for each faction, let's be honest, but at the same time it gives you a flavour to go with everything else. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
Again, yeah, Klepper's done us proud. In that regard, so yeah, really cool.
And he's a goblin, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Nice. That'll please a few people in particular.
The acquisition goblin.
Stop it! We're talking too much about content.
Yes,
we've got to just,
this
is hype.
But yes,
content.
so do go into it, go and look at that. One of the next areas of it that it goes into is the calendar, which is an interesting one.
I like this. There's 2 sections. Well, there's 4 sections of the calendar actually. The first one is days of the week, which I think, you know, let's be honest, playing a battle with toy soldiers. Who cares about what the days of the week are called? We all care, right? We all care because it's fluff and we like fluff. I mean, that's just like, you know. Yesterday, I played on Brastak. I played a battle on Warhol on Brastak Day, Tuesday. I'm just maybe. But then again, there's 8 days of the week according to this, so maybe it doesn't relate like that. Who knows?
Hey, it's anyway, fancy world. Don't get. There's dragons and giants. You just distract. Anytime anyone says anything like that, there's dragons and giants.
Well, and you do. But then they've also got months of the year technically, right? And there's 9 months instead of 12. 9th ages. Maybe that goes all set. But November has been added by Sunna herself, which is like, you arrogant son of a gun.
Yeah, right. Sunna.
Yeah, you son of a. Did that on purpose. But then it follows up by saying that there's 2 different calendars. There's the Sonstal calendar and there's the Equitane calendar.
There is, yeah.
Which I think is a real cool nod to like the rivalry between Sonstal and Equitane.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the main human factions, arguably. And like, you know, one of them has 9 months in a year, one of them has 8. and it's like they have to be different.
Yeah.
And there's like a little bit of a tip that, if you're doing a contract within some business acquisitions in the ninth age, you've got to be careful to understand which calendar you're using, because you might get screwed over. If you think you're using the Sonsdale calendar and you're actually using the Aquitaine calendar, yeah, it's like it really brings it home to the personal touch.
Yeah,
I like how that something as boring as a calendar actually is quite cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said, as well as this page with the days, months, and the Sonsdale. There is the Kingdom of Tem as well. There's also, moving on from that, a map, baby! Oh, baby!
We like a good map, don't we?
And there is more than you've seen on the screen. Again, just teasing. But yeah, which is really, really cool. It also goes into quite a lot of detail on each of the continents.
The longest section on each of the continents, I would say. Like this is like repetitive writing, like 3 or 4 page on each continent area. So that's really nice.
And that's in comparison. You think of as a book, that's in comparison to the 2 page each on the factions themselves, which are the main thing. So they've gone into loads of detail on each of the continents in there, like Visha. And on this one, Tefira.
Selexia as well. I'm currently playing Dread Elves, so Selexia definitely caught my eye.
Yeah, sure. So that's really cool. And it does give, and this is by the Sage. Some people might have seen the thread. Ask the Sage a question, and this is him, her Sigmund Selig, is it? Or something like that.
It is now.
It is now, yeah. So that's really cool. Which means, as well as it is first person, but it is much more official first person, I guess, from that point of view.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Writing compared to, say, like the Klepper, who's a bit more tongue-in-cheek when they're doing some of the things. So, again...
Actually accurate.
Again, a bit changing up the style, but this actually makes it seem like, and in terms of the way it's written, seem like you're reading facts and things more than anything. So really, really well done there. There are obviously still snippets of the first person stuff that you get through that, but I was really impressed actually for this section and how they do it. And as you say, the actual depth that they go into, which is real good starting place for a lot of the fluff.
Yeah. What's interesting throughout the whole book actually is that even though this is ninth age, a whole different world, etc., there is some similarities that will make you with a little bit of a warm and fuzzy feeling, that you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, that's cool. So you're not completely alien to what you inherently already know, if that makes sense.
Good mix of tradition.
Exactly. I won't go too much further into that point. You'll have to decide what point I'm trying to make there. But it all feels about right, I think, with the stories that they're coming up with and things they're referring to. And one of the major barriers that they've managed to get over in this whole book is how anyone can fight anyone. Literally any army. There's no concept of a good factions and bad factions. Everyone just fights everyone. And I think that's really cool because it gets over your barriers of, Saurians would never fight Empire because why would Saurians be in Sonsdale? Sure, yeah. It gets over that barrier because everyone is everywhere. And that's awesome. That's exactly what you want. Right? Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah.
How apt. Anyway. Moving on. Some of the last aspects of it, I say, this is really the world and everything is the biggest section. So you get a real awesome look at the world of the Ninth Age, in which everyone's doing. There also goes into a bit of magic, and I've got this one in particular because I love Avras as well. So we're talking about the world. We haven't really mentioned the art just yet. We will go into that in a sec, but a lot of the art that's been done really looks like it's been fine-tuned. That's in this compendium as well, which is really cool. Obviously, we've got the Avras, the classical Avras one here, and I think part of the world starts with all roads lead to Avras. So it's like a
yeah, that might be a reference to another city somewhere.
Yeah. But as well as going into the geography, I guess, of that sort of thing, the politics of each of the aspects, they actually go into the magic as well, and sort of take a look at what that means in the Ninth Age world.
Did you catch the? Sorry to interrupt you there, but did you catch the book that refers at the end of the magic section is called "Immortal Beings and Where to Find Them"? Is that a Harry Potter reference? I'm not quite sure.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but still.
But yeah, so yeah, going into all that, again, a few little snippets of nice art as well. Again, really nice formatted, and it's very nice on the eye, and yeah, going through all that really. As I said, throughout it, it's not just for you, not just words for you people. There are beautiful bits of art, and some of it you've seen before, some of it's new. I've got some nice bits on the screen here, just because it fit really nicely on the overlay. But I do feel like they've put a lot of effort in selecting what's going to be there. They've put, I mean, they're awesome bits of art anyway, but they've also, I feel like they've fine-tuned them a little bit, as much as they can do with other people's art, which is really cool. It gives the whole thing a nice feel, really.
Yeah, no, credit to the whole thing. I think it's really well put together. It flows really nicely, and I think it gives you a real idea of the world that we're all being a part of.
Yeah, man. So there you have it in a nutshell. Obviously, you've got we talked about some of our favourite bits and everything like that, bringing the whole of all the armies into a real life fluff world, and I think this is really, really cool. A big moment for Ninth Age. This is.
It is.
So enjoy it, folks, and give it lots of. Give it a read if you like it. Tell the people that have written it. And
get us some questions that you have, because we will follow up with more.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
We would love to answer some of your questions as well as just ours.
So
that anything you're curious about.
Obviously, this is going out on the day of release, so some of you this might be the first you've even heard of it or whatever. But if you do eventually go and read it and want to let us know your thoughts, do that as well. We'll pass those on. If there's any suggestions you guys want to see in the future, maybe an expansion of the background compendium, maybe more specific things into, say, if you want even more detail on the continents, for example, or more examples of how the calendar fits in with different politics, maybe different calendars, whatever, or whatever your questions are, whatever your suggestions are, put them in the comments, as you've said, Hyper G, because we want to fill it. We've got loads ourselves, and we can ask the questions, but we would love it if we could throw in some of your questions as well. Because that's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Engagement in the community.
Yeah,
that's what we're for. Yeah.
So, thanks very much for watching. It wasn't too long, about 20 minutes or so. So,
most of that was me getting excited about random links that probably don't exist.
Yes.
For
IP reasons, certainly don't.
I am called Hyper G for a reason, maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Do go and give it a look. And all the other background stuff, really. I'll link in some of the other videos we've done. All of those things. But otherwise, guys, have a good Thursday. And we will see you for more bat reps. Yeah, literally. We will see you later.
Yeah, we always do.